Let's start the discussion. So, TRI released a report leveraging artificial intelligence and big data in telecommunications sector. Artificial intelligence in big data in telecommunications sector. So, Key highlights of the report were opportunities in the adoption of AI and big data in telecommunication sector, potential to improve efficiency, productivity, and automation, expected to enhance network speed, capacity, and latency by providing actionable insights, offers intelligent automated systems in designing, deployment, maintenance, and managing network complexities, including proactively securing the network. The constraints are policy and regulatory challenges due to absence of data protection bill in India, limited AI expertise and knowledge, access to quality data and AI-specific infrastructure, limited access to data, inadequate computing infrastructure, and limited research and development efforts, interoperability and compatibility among different AI systems and data sources, lack of industry-wide standards hampers the exchange of information. The recommendations were need for a global collaboration and global regulations to ensure that it is used in responsible and ethical manner, need to adopt a regulatory framework that should be applicable across sectors, establish an independent statutory authority designated as Artificial Intelligence and Data Authority of India, which is AIDAI, Artificial Intelligence and Data Authority of India, for ensuring development of responsible AI, create a multi-stakeholder body that will act as an advisory body to the proposed statutory authority. Joint Parliamentary Committee (JPC) clears all the challenges on contentious forest conservation amendment bill 2023. Joint Parliament Committee clears all changes on contentious Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023. Highlights of the bill were amend, amends the Forest Conservation Act of 1980 and make it applicable to certain types of land. These include land notified as forest under the Indian Forest Act 1927 and in government records after the 1980 Act came into effect, inserts a preamble to the Act, exempts certain types of land for the purview of the Act. These include land within 100 km of India's border needed for national security projects, small roadside amenities, and public roads leading to habitation. Allows the running zoos, safaris, and ecotourism facilities to be carried out in forest in addition to activities like establishing checkposts providing provided the under the act. देखो इसमें एक इम्पोर्टेंट टाइप है exempt certain types of land from the purview of the act. इसमें within 100 kilometer of India's border needed for national security projects यहाँ पर नहीं होंगे. स्मॉल रोड साइड अमेनिटीज जहाँ पर होती हैं वहाँ पर नहीं होंगे एंड पब्लिक रोड्स लीडिंग टू हैबिटेशन जहाँ पर हमें पता ही है कि हैबिटेशन होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा है वहाँ पर. ठीक है. अब हाईलाइट क्या था तो दीज इंक्लूड लैंड नोटिफाइड एज फॉरेस्ट अंडर द इंडियन फॉरेस्ट एक्ट 1927 or in government records after 1980 act came into the effect. Arguments given by JPC in favor of the amendments necessary to meet the national targets of the net zero emissions by 2070, help in creation of carbon sink amounting to 2.5 to 3 billion tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030 and under the nationally determined contribution targets, supports the country's objective to increase forest and tree cover up to a third of its land area. नेसेसरी जो है नेशनल टारगेट्स जीरो नेट नेट जीरो एमिशंस के लिए 2070 तक वो फुलफिल करने में हेल्प करेगा। उसके बाद हेल्प इन क्रिएशन ऑफ कार्बन सिंक अमाउंटिंग टू 2.5 to 3 बिलियन टन्स ऑफ CO2 इक्विवेलेंट बाय 2030, ये करेगा। उसके बाद सपोर्ट्स द कंट्रीज ऑब्जेक्टिव, कि कंट्री के जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है इंक्रीज द फॉरेस्ट एंड ट्री कवर अप टू 1/3 ऑफ इट्स लैंड, इसको भी कवर करता है। कंसर्न्स क्या रहे इसके अंदर, तो proposed amendment subverts the FCA's primary objective to provide for conservation of forest and to check further deforestation. Subverts the FCA's primary objective to provide for conservation of forest and check further deforestation. Further deforestation को रोकने की बजाय ये उसके ऊपर चेक्स लगाने की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। Amendments would be undo the provisions existing in the Act and reduce its ambit by privatizing large portions of the forest in lieu of creating plantations, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट न्यूज देखते हैं। मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स MCA exempts regional rural banks from CCI's merger control regime. Corporate Affairs exempts regional rural banks from CCI's mergers control regime. The exemption from prior scrutiny and approval of the Competition Commission of India would be available for 5 years. Competition Commission of India has been mandated to examine whether the mergers and consolidations will lessen competition or affect consumer interest. The decision is seen as a prelude to the next round of consolidation among RRBs. Consolidation of RRBs क्या होता है? The process was initiated in a phased manner since 2005 in a light of high number of RRB, which was 196 at the time. Currently, there are about 43 RRBs as of 2021. Importance क्या है? तो strengthen the banking sector, minimizes overhead expenses, optimizes the use of technology, enhances the capital base and area of operation. About RRBs, they were established in 1975 on the recommendation of Narasimhan Group Working Group. Objective to cater or the financial inclusion needs of the small and marginal farmers, agricultural laborers, artisans, and weaker sections of the society. The central government usually holds 50% of RRBs, while the relevant sponsor banks and state governments owns 35 to 15% respectively. RRBs कैसे बने थे इसके बारे में यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है, तो ये आप देख लीजिए कि कब हुआ था। 1975 ऑन द रिकमेंडेशन नरसिम्हन वर्किंग ग्रुप, ठीक है। उसके बाद है cater the financial inclusion and needs of the small and marginal farmers, agricultural laborers, artisans, weaker sections of the society, ठीक है। सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट यूजुअली 50% RRB उनके हाथ में होता है और स्पॉन्सर बैंक और स्टेट बैंक के हाथ में, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में 35% और 15% होता है, ठीक है। ISRO has successfully completed the service module propulsion system test for Gaganyaan. This service module of Gaganyaan caters to requirement of the orbital module performing orbit injection, circularization, on-orbit control, deboosting maneuvering, etc. About Gaganyaan mission, envisages the demonstration of human spaceflight capability by launching crew of 3 members, 3 member का mission रहेगा, to an orbit of 400 kilometers for a 3-day mission, ठीक है। As a part of it, 2 unmanned missions and 1 manned missions are approved by the government. LVM-3 Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark III is identified as the launch vehicle for the Gaganyaan mission. It is a 3-stage vehicle which is solid, liquid and cryogenic. Critical technologies used क्या है इसके अंदर include human related launch vehicle for carrying crew safely to space, ठीक है। Life support system to provide an Earth-like environment to a crew in space. Crew emergency escape provision, ये इसके अंदर है. Evolving crew management, aspects for training, recovery and rehabilitation of crew. ठीक है. Significance क्या है? To give a boost to India's ambition of setting up its own space station, becoming the fourth nation to do so after United States, China, and Russia, re-establish India's space research position among the world's developed countries. ओके. देखो, इसके अंदर अभी हमने बात कर रहा था थ्री स्टेज रहेगा. सॉलिड प्रोपल्शन, लिक्विड स्टेज एंड क्रायोजेनिक. ठीक है. ये ऑर्बिटल मॉड्यूल होता है और ये क्रू एस्केप सिस्टम. ठीक है. The first ever credit guarantee scheme for livestock sector launched. First ever credit guarantee scheme for livestock sector launched. Credit guarantee scheme. Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, DAHD, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying is implementing the Credit Guarantee Scheme under the Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. Scheme aims to strengthen the credit delivery system and facilitate the flow of credit to MSMEs engaged in livestock sector. क्रेडिट प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा टू दी MSMEs which are engaged in livestock sector. DAHD has established a credit guarantee fund trust of 750 crore. ठीक है. Which will provide credit guarantee coverage of up to 25% of the credit facilities extended to the MSMEs. ठीक है. सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है इसका? तो facilitates access to the finance for unserved and underserved livestock sector. Facilitates unserved और underserved livestock sector. जैसे आप देखिए, आप किसी गांव में जाएंगे तो आपको वहां पे बहुत ही स्मॉल फार्मर्स मिलेंगे जिनके पास इतना पैसा नहीं रहता कि वो लोग लाइव स्टॉक को मतलब जो उनकी गाय भैंस हो गई या फिर शीप्स है या फिर गोट, तो इन सब के लिए उनके पास इतना पैसा नहीं है कि उनके लिए इवन शेड भी प्रिपेयर कर पाए, तो उनको फाइनेंस करने में हेल्प करेगा. Making availability of the financial assistance from lenders to mainly first generation entrepreneurs and underprivileged section of the society. Underprivileged this section of the society. AHIDF is a special credit facility for animal husbandry infrastructure development. It is a special credit facility. Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund is a special credit facility for animal husbandry for animal husbandry infrastructure development. It is a central sector scheme under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Central sector scheme, interest subvention of 3% जैसे KCC में प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. Loan of up to 90% of the total project cost from any scheduled bank, National Cooperative Development Bank Development Corporations, which is NCDC. Livestock in India, it contributes to 4.11% to the GDP and 25.6% of the total agricultural GDP. Livestock provide employment to the rural family and act as an insurance during crop failures. Okay. Next news is new category of mutual funds under the ESG, which is Environment, Social and Governance Scheme. SEBI decided to allow mutual funds to introduce new categories under the ESG, which is Environment, Social and Governance Scheme: exclusions, integration, best in class, positive screening, impact investing and sustainable objectives. ये 5 तरीके के स्कीम्स लॉन्च करने के लिए कैटेगरीज के लिए सेबी ने अलाउ कर दिया है म्यूचुअल फंड कंपनीज को. Currently, mutual funds can launch only one ESG scheme under the thematic category of equity schemes. ठीक है, बस इक्विटी के अंदर अभी तक लॉन्च कर सकते हैं. It aims to facilitate green financing with the emphasis on the enhanced disclosures for transparency and mitigating the greenwashing. ग्रीन वॉशिंग क्या होता है? तो ग्रीन वॉशिंग इज द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ मेकिंग फॉल्स और मिसलीडिंग स्टेटमेंट अबाउट द एनवायरमेंटल बेनिफिट्स ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट और प्रैक्टिस. ठीक है, ग्रीन वॉशिंग इज द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ मेकिंग फॉल्स और मिसलीडिंग स्टेटमेंट अबाउट एनवायरमेंटल बेनिफिट्स ऑफ अ प्रोडक्ट और प्रैक्टिस. ESG scheme क्या है? तो it aims to promote sustainable and responsible business practices covering a range of issues like climate change, pollution, human rights, business ethics, corporate governance, etc. In 2012, SEBI issued guidance note on ESG disclosures for companies listed on Indian stock exchanges to disclose ESG performance in annual reports. ESG reporting in India, Notional Voluntary Guidelines, which is NVG's 2009, Ministry of Corporate Affairs issued National Voluntary Guidelines on Corporate Social Responsibility with effect from financial year 2020 to 23. Filing of Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report has been made mandatory for the top 1000 listed companies by SEBI. देखो ESG है क्या? एनवायरमेंटल अगर हम देखें तो क्लाइमेट चेंज स्ट्रैटेजी, बायोडाइवर्सिटी, वाटर एफिशिएंसी, एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी, कार्बन इंटेंसिटी, एनवायरमेंटल मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. सोशल के अंदर आपका आ गया इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी, फ्रीडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन, हेल्थ एंड सेफ्टी, ह्यूमन राइट्स, कस्टमर एंड प्रोडक्ट्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, चाइल्ड लेबर. गवर्नेंस में आ गया बिजनेस एथिक्स, कंप्लायंस, बोर्ड इंडिपेंडेंस, एग्जीक्यूटिव कॉम्पेंसेशन, शेयर होल्डर डेमोक्रेसी. ESG स्कीम क्या है? तो इसमें इट एम्स टू प्रमोट सस्टेनेबल और रिस्पॉन्सिबल बिजनेस प्रैक्टिस. ठीक है, कवरिंग अ रेंज ऑफ इश्यूज लाइक अभी जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया क्लाइमेट चेंज स्ट्रैटेजी हो गई या फिर बायोडाइवर्सिटी, ह्यूमन राइट्स, बिजनेस कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस, एग्जीक्यूटिव कॉम्पेंसेशन, कंप्लायंस, तो इन सब के ऊपर रहेगा. 2012 में सेबी ने गाइडलाइंस इशू करी थी ऑन ESG disclosures for companies listed on Indian Stock Exchange to disclose ESG performance in annual reports. Okay. Rule 176 and 267. According to the rules of procedure and conduct of business in the Council of States under Rule 267, the Rajya Sabha MP has a special power to suspend the pre-decided agenda of the House Rajya Sabha MP with the approval of the chairman. Rule 176 allows a short duration discussion not exceeding 2.5 hours on a particular issue. ठीक है. Cinem- Cinematography Amendment Bill. The government introduced the Cinematography Amendment Bill 2023 in Rajya Sabha, which aims to tackle film piracy. It seeks to amend the Cinematography Act 1952. Cinematography Act 1952 was enacted to make provision for the certification of cinematography films. The bill classifies the films on the basis of the age group instead of the current practices of UA or UA. Seeks to bring uniformity in the categorization of the films and content across platforms. The bill considers the act of piracy as an offense legally and will include even transmitting pirated content punishable. Solar Technology Application Resource Center Initiative, Star Sea Initiative. India is recently considering expanding international solar alliances Star Sea Initiative to Pacific Island countries. About Solar Technology Application Resource Center Initiative, it is a project to build star centers, which is solar technology application resource centers, which will act as hubs of technology, knowledge, and expertise of solar energy. the International Solar Alliance, and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, with the funding of Government of France, are implementing the project. It performs the following four primary functions: capacity building, testing, innovation, and knowledge management. Heat index. Indian Indian Meteorological IMD, which is Indian Meteorology Department, has recently launched heat index on an experimental basis to provide a general guidance for the regions within in India where apparent temperatures are on higher side, causing discomfort to the poor. It will provide information about the impact of humidity on the high temperatures as an indication of human discomfort. Color codes of heat index: green, experimental heat index is less than 35 degree centigrade. Yellow is between 36 to 45 degrees. Orange is between 46 to 55 degrees, and red is greater than 55 degrees. India Climate Energy Dashboard 3.0. Niti Aayog has released India Climate Energy Dashboard 3.0, a one-stop platform for near real-time data on the energy sector, climate, and related economic data sets based on the government published sources. Developed as a user-friendly platform, it enables users to freely access and analyze datasets using an analytical engine, facilitates insights, and enhance understanding about the energy and climate sectors while identifying the key changes. Immensely useful in the monitoring the progress of India's clean energy transition journey. Cell Broadcast Alert System. Department of Technology announced that it will be conducting a cell broadcast alert system testing in collaboration with National Disaster Management Authority. It aims to enhance emergency communication during disasters and ensure the safety and well-being of the citizens. About Cell Broadcast Alert System, a state-of-art technology that will allow to send critical and time-sensitive messages for the disaster management to all the mobile devices within a designated geographical area, irrespective of whether the recipient are residents or visitors, will ensure that the important emergency information reaches as many as possible in a timely manner. सेल ब्रॉडकास्ट अलर्ट सिस्टम. देखिए, अभी रिसेंटली आपने एक चीज नोटिस करी होगी कि एनडीएमए की तरफ से आपको मैसेजेस आ जाते हैं कि हीट वेव आने वाला है या फिर हैवी रेनफॉल होने वाली है. तो ये इसी के ऊपर है कि स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट टेक्नोलॉजी, it is an enhanced emergency communication during disasters, ensure safety and well-being of the citizens. ठीक है. Conducting a cell broadcasting alert system testing in collaboration with NDMA. ठीक है. उसके बाद स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट टेक्नोलॉजी है that allows critical time sensitive messages for the disaster management to all the mobile devices in the designated geographical area. ठीक है. रेसिपिएंट्स वहाँ पे विजिटर्स हैं कि रेजिडेंट्स हैं वहाँ के, वो उसके ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं करेगा. इट विल इंश्योर दैट इम्पोर्टेंट इमरजेंसी इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो उतने लोगों को पहुंच जाए जितना पहुंच सकता है, पॉसिबल है. वो इसका मोटिव रहेगा. इनिशिएटिव्स लॉन्च्ड ड्यूरिंग ग्लोबल फूड रेगुलेटर्स समिट 2023. Summit is an endeavor. This summit is an endeavor of FSSAI to create a global platform of food regulators to exchange perspectives on strengthening food safety systems and regulatory framework. Key launches क्या हैं? Release of Foodocopia, uh, Cop- Copoia, Foodocopoia, a collection of food category wise monographs and a single point of reference for all applicable standards for a specific product category. Common Regulators Platform, which is Sangreh, a database of food regulatory authority of 76 countries across the world, their mandate, food testing facilities, etc. ठीक है. उसके बाद है auroras on Mercury. During a closed Mercury flyby, a Bepi Colombo spacecraft collected data that showed how electrons raining down on the planet's surface are triggering X-ray auroras. Bepi Colombo is a joint mission of the European Space Agency and the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, which is JAXA, to the planet Mercury. बेपी कोलंबो किसका है? तो जापानीज एंड यूरोपियंस का. Auroras on Earth are triggered when the steam of the charged particles emitted by the sun interact with the ionosphere. Okay, but the Mercury has a very thin atmosphere called the exosphere. Auroras on the planet are created with when solar wind, the steam of particles, interact directly with the planet's surface. देखो, ऑरोराज क्यों बनते हैं? तो ऑरोराज तब ट्रिगर होते हैं जब एक स्ट्रीम ऑफ पार्टिकल्स या फिर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बोलेंगे, तो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो सन जो छोड़ता है इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को, वो आयनोस्फेयर में एंटर करेंगे, तब ऑरोराज ट्रिगर होते हैं. ठीक है. बट मर्क्यूरी हैज अ वेरी थिन एटमॉस्फेयर. मर्क्यूरी का बहुत थिन एटमॉस्फेयर है जिसको एग्जॉस्फेयर बोला जाता है. Auroras on the planet are created when solar wind and the steam of particles interact directly with the planet's surface. Okay. प्लेसेस इन न्यूज की बात करें तो अर्जेंटीना की बात हो रही है. कैपिटल है ब्यूनस आयरस. अर्जेंटीना साइंस लेटर ऑफ इंटेंट विद हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिकल्स लिमिटेड HAL to buy helicopters. Political boundaries. The country is bounded by Chile to the south and west, Bolivia and Paraguay to the north, and Brazil, Uruguay and Atlantic Ocean to the east. ठीक है. देखो, उरुग्वे करता है, उसके बाद ब्राजील, पैराग्वे, बोलिविया, चिले. ठीक है. अब एक साइड में अटलांटिक ओशियन है, दूसरी साइड में पैसिफिक ओशियन है. ठीक है. Geographical features: rich plains of pampas in the north, half flat to rolling plateau of Patagonia in the south, and rugged Andes along the western border. Highest point है Cerro Aconcagua. Major rivers क्या है? Parana और Paraguay. Thank you.